everyone. We are back with a very fun series that we are doing to introduce you to the nonprofit organizations that are fundraising through the Human Race 2020, which is, yes, a 5K, and this year it's virtual, but it is also a massive fundraising platform for over 75 nonprofits in the Triad to participate in. I'm really excited today to introduce you to the Communication Services for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing. They are fundraising in this awesome fundraiser as well. And you have the pleasure of meeting Meredith and Matt, who's translating through ASL throughout the interview. Welcome.
Yeah, nice to meet all of you. Nice to see y'all.
Meredith, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself and your role at the Communication Services for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing?
Sure. So I've been at, our Communication Services for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing has been around since 1975. That was when we were founded. And let's see, I've been working here for about 5 years now, I think. My position is the outreach coordinator. So, and I'm, very involved with the deaf community. We partner a lot with other agencies, both like state agencies and otherwise. And then I'll introduce my interpreter today, Matt Bakari. He's the staff interpreter for CSDHH. And he's also worked there for about 5 years, I believe. Hopefully I'm right. Mm-hmm.
Perfect verification. Great. And what is the population that you serve is obviously those that have hearing impairments, but you do much more than that. And can you tell us a little bit about the population and the programs that you offer?
Sure, absolutely. We work with a very diverse set of people. We work with, kids all the way up to senior citizens. And we do work with some folks who are hearing as well, folks who are deaf, maybe folks who became deaf later in life and are late deafened or identify more as hard of hearing, people who are deaf blind. It's a very diverse population that we work with. And we work with the larger community in general, providing, sign language interpreting, sign language classes. We have those set up 4 times a year in 4 different 8-week sessions. My role generally is involved with hosting events and trying to increase community involvement. Our mission is to unlock barriers through awareness, accessibility, and inclusion. So a lot of my job is related with all 3 of those: access, inclusion, and awareness. Trying to help bridge the gap and make sure that the deaf community and the broader hearing community interact better and connect better. Some of the programs that we host, we have a twice-a-month silent dinner that we usually host. We also have a mentoring program that is for deaf, hard of hearing, and deafblind children. In Greensboro, we used to have a school for the deaf here, but it closed in 2001. So since then, that sort of caused a lot of the community to spread out a little bit, and the children who used to be served by that school are more and more only involved with the hearing world. They don't really have any deaf peers, so they need this kind of role model. About 75% of deaf children are born to hearing families who might not have the communication skills or otherwise have positive deaf adult role models. So this mentoring program allows them to sort of be paired with someone to look up to and learn those kind of skills from. We also do advocacy services, helping the deaf community and helping businesses learn how to better, use interpreters, or how they can, how we can all work together to make sure that there's access. We've actually recently started doing video interpreting and sort of virtual advocacy services, since most things are online. There's quite a few different kinds of things that we do, for sure.
Absolutely. And I think, when we were chatting earlier, you told me a little bit about community dinners that you do and different social events as well, which I'm sure is really beneficial, especially for kids or people that might be surrounded by hearing individuals, just to be around peers, like you said, that that are in the same boat.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so the silent dinners that we host, that's usually a great opportunity for folks to get together, and it's open to anybody. You know, we have a lot of hearing people who are learning sign language who get together, and that's a good opportunity to practice. Plus, it allows deaf folks the opportunity to get together and to interact with hearing people who sign. It's definitely a good opportunity for everybody. Another program that we have is Friends and Families, which is sort of a group for either parents of children who are deaf or parents who are themselves deaf. And that's a great opportunity for people to get together and support each other. Every month we sort of have different things depending on what folks are concerned with, what, related to their rights or how they can self-advocate or anything like that. So the Friends and Family group is a good monthly group as well.
That's amazing. I did not know that. Thank you. We'll absolutely share that as well. What a neat opportunity when we are able to gather again to be able to learn side by side.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, I just really love working here in our agency because we're really, we're able to roll our sleeves up and get involved. And, our mission involves working directly with the community. So that's really great.
Absolutely. I know that we're in the middle of a pandemic and that looks very different for everyone. We're in the same storm, but we're all riding in very different boats. And if you could just speak a little bit on how isolation and stay-at-home orders and just COVID-19 in general has affected the way that you all are executing your mission, as well as the way that it might be impacting your population.
Sure. In general, for the deaf community, there's definitely been a pretty big impact, especially from face masks. When you think about communication, not just with lip reading, but there's lots of other facial expressions and non-manual markers that are shown on the face for communication, and face masks make that almost impossible. A common fallback for communication is also writing back and forth, but having 6-foot distances definitely impacts that as well. So a lot of the guidelines for preserving people's health related to this have made communication have more barriers and made access harder. I've seen some things where people have like clear face masks that allow lip reading and things to happen. So hopefully maybe those kinds of things will be more widespread, or other things will change. The deaf-blind community has had an even larger impact. Often deaf-blind individuals require tactile, touch-based communication, hand over hand or otherwise. So a lot of these things, and with them staying at home, a lot of folks might be unaware of what's happening in the world, what kind of updates or press conferences. They might just be wondering, why is nobody answering my emails, or why is stuff happening less, but they don't necessarily have that. So we've been really trying to directly reach out to individuals and make sure that everyone's sort of aware of what's going on. For kids also, I mean, there's definitely a lot of isolation, and if they're or if they're at home for school, they might not have any kind of communication access. There's online virtual classes with video meetings and stuff, but so a lot of folks maybe don't have devices at home or the equipment, and some schools are providing that, but then do they have internet? And so it's definitely, there's just a lot of various impacts. It's a whole new world, I think, for everybody, not just for us, not just for our community. So we're all sort of trying to figure out how to adapt and how to transition. And when thinking about the rights people have and what kind of advocacy they need and all that, it's definitely been a big struggle in the last little bit, for sure.
Absolutely. Well, obviously you guys are fundraising for some very important things, some expanding and and obviously continuing your services and staff, and especially in this time pivoting. So I would love to show everyone how to donate and support your organization. So I'm going to share my screen to do that. Is there anything that you want to mention before I do so about your goal, what you're raising, and why?
Sure. So CSDH, we've been involved pretty consistently, I think since 2015. So this will be our 6th year in a row that we've been involved with the human race. We have folks that run and walk, and also, fundraising has been a big part of it. It's really amazing to see, all the different nonprofits come together and all the support that people have. The fundraising that we do through the human race is definitely focused on providing communication access and interpreting in places where they don't usually pay to provide communication access. Might be free events where they don't earn any money, so they can't provide those things, or otherwise other places where that communication access isn't happening. So some examples of how we've used money from the human race in the past has been the Folk Festival for the last few years. That's a pretty huge music event that happens in the fall, usually in September every year for the past few years. And a lot of deaf people really enjoy going to that and seeing the different kinds of, performances and the different, all that. And, a lot of times you can feel like the bass from the speakers and everything. And having, interpreters on stage or other communication access really helps people feel even more involved. Some other places that, a lot of times don't have communication access, don't have interpreting, are things like funeral services or memorial services. A lot of times those are very small funeral homes and they don't have the ability to do that. And so it might be that there's only one deaf person in the family, but they wouldn't otherwise be able to really participate or be able to attend. So being able to have this fundraising opportunity to provide this kind of communication access for the deaf, blind, hard of hearing, and deaf children is really a great thing.
Absolutely. I personally have been able to witness the interpreting that happens at the Folk Festival, and it's a beautiful expression for everyone to be able to participate in. So thank you for doing that. And I wouldn't have even thought about those types of events and ensuring that there's somebody there that can translate. And yes, many small businesses may not have someone on staff or access to someone that is able to translate. So thank you for offering that service. We really hope that you guys hit your goal and then some, so you can continue to do so.
Yes, absolutely. We've got our fingers crossed.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to share my screen now and show everyone how to find your donation page within this fundraiser of 75 nonprofits. Okay, so when you go to volunteercentertriad.org, you can go to programs and the human race. There's several ways to find the communication services for the deaf and hard of hearing. There's tons of information about the human race as we're pivoting and it's virtual. You can still sign up to run, jog, walk, roll, wag your way through 1 mile or a 5K. And there's instructions on how to register and how to do so here. If you scroll on down past the app and all those other instructions, you'll find a list of participating nonprofits, and they're all in alphabetical order. Click the name of the one you would like to donate to, in this case, Communication Services for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing. They have a goal of $2,000. You guys are doing fantastic. You've already raised $1,490.63 towards that goal. It's really easy to donate once you come onto their page. You just hit donate. You can also enhance your donation by covering the credit card processing fees, which gives the nonprofit the most of your donation. These are some of the fantastic contributors you have. So let's just thank them. You have so many. Good job. And these are your team members. So if you know any of these individuals specifically, you can click on their individual page, and by donating to them and supporting them, you're also supporting the team. Some individuals have specific goals that they want to raise for this organization. There's some great photos and some great information about the communication services for the deaf and hard of hearing on their page. We would love to continue to see you guys move on up in the top teams. You're actually the number 4 top fundraising nonprofit already. Congratulations. The other place that you can find this page, really easy, is if you're already registering and you want to join their team, you'll go to thehumanrace.itsyourrace.com, which you can also navigate to from our website. And when you register, you'll just select the communication services team in the drop-down when you're selecting a team to join. You can hit the fundraising tab, and again, here's a list of everyone, alphabetical order. You can easily click on the communication services page and donate right there. I'm also going to show everyone your website for more information. You guys have a great pop-up that allows people to see all of the resources that you're offering right now during COVID-19. As you mentioned, for especially some that may be deafblind, who don't have access to the regular way that people are reading and seeing and hearing the news. And so it takes some creativity to make sure that they're also in the loop and able to be safe. So this is your fantastic website. You guys have done a great job. There's a great way to request interpreters. Is there anything else on your site that you'd like me to point out while I'm on here?
I suppose, yeah, if people are curious about what programs and services we provide, they can click the link in the top, and that sort of is a broad overview of the various things we offer.
Awesome. And when they contact you, there are several ways that people are able to contact you, correct?
Oh, yes. Yeah, and you can also see, which staff covers which thing. For example, if you're reaching out because you want to know about, communication access, real-time transcription or like live captioning, there's a staff member who coordinates that. Sign language classes, that would be Matt that usually coordinates that. Interpreting services, we usually, one staff member handles that. Right now, our director, Kelly's handling that. So yeah, you can sort of reach out to anyone directly depending on what it is, but all the general content information is also there as well, if you're not sure, and we'll make sure it gets to the right place.
And you also have video phone and voice phone and email, so multiple ways to contact you.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you all so much for hanging out with me. I really enjoyed chatting with you today. Thank you for continuing to participate in the human race. We're excited to see you exceed your goal. We know you will.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we will for sure.
Thank you again for your time. Is there anything else you want to add before we convene?
Yeah, just one thing to clarify. So I mentioned the fundraising is for some of those places where often interpreters are not able to be provided. There is definitely, the Americans with Disabilities Act law that does have requirements. So most places definitely do have interpreting. I don't want people to think that oh, this money is for, any kind of interpreting we need. There's definitely very specific circumstances, but.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. Yes.
Oh, sure.
But this fundraising allows you to pay those interpreters in instances where maybe they would not be getting paid.
Yeah, the fund for the human race is more to provide it in general community events where there wouldn't otherwise be an interpreter.
Right. Got it. Thank you for that clarification.
But yeah, I mean, and I'd love it if people, continue to support our team and, help support our agency. We really want to make sure that everyone is able to be involved with things. So we've actually tried to, we've hosted weekly events trying to get our team excited. And so we would love to see even more people, and you can find out more information at the page that Jordan shared.
Awesome. Thank you guys again. We really appreciate you, and keep on racing to the finish line.
Oh, absolutely. We've loved it so far. Thank you.